Hey patrons from around the world, how are you? It's Jeremy Alexander Newsome with the IR4 podcast. Hope everyone's doing amazing. Bitcoin on the dockets today. Not a lot's been happening. And I say a lot, I mean, it's a lot in normal world, crypto world, not much. Pretty massive sell-off the last week. Shocking, really. Pulled into the 50. How weird. I mean, no one could have seen that coming. So now that we're here on the 50, this is probably, again, if you're already in, depending on how you're playing it, here's the hourly chart, right? And of course, as most things, it comes down to what is your approach? What is your time frame? And what are you doing? So down here, if you're short-term swing trading or actively trading, this is probably a decent time to pick some up at this buy low, sell high level. If you're long-term investing, maybe depending on how much you're already in, you can put in a few more dollars, because right, you can buy any fractions you want down this level and see if she bounces. Again, she may or may not, who knows? But if she doesn't, longer term, I will definitely look to buy a lot more around 11. Might add a small position back at 12.8. But yeah, if it pulls back to 11, I'll add some more there. And again, the concerning thing for sure, as I mentioned in the last review, is this lower high. That is a big deal. And until we can really break out of that lower high, we're still going to be consolidating for a bit. But for right now, it's still buy low, sell high territory. We'll consolidate, we'll trade sideways. Oh heavens, maybe 2 entire months. Things take time, even in the crypto land. So that is Bitcoin. Ethereum making some people some real money. 13 hundo. Almost hit 1400 today. At least on the Coinbase exchange, so it is rocking and rolling. My target on this one, I'm going to go ahead and put in a sell order at some point, but 2900 is my target, which it'll be a while before we hit there. 2900, that is where I plan on selling. You can put NEWSOME's target. And then once I get out there, I'll probably buy a dip on something else. But we could hit that in the next 4 to 5 months. I mean, that's entirely plausible. At this point, trend, very, very strong, obvious trend. I mean, you got the dip buying opportunity right there off of the 10. So that was it. If you weren't in Ethereum, that's where you would want to pick some up. From here, yeah. I mean, I can take this old resistance, new support, put it at this high wave candle. So I'm going to kind of zoom in. I think I can take most of these lines off at this point. For right now anyway. Take that off, take that off. So you have this high wave candle here on the 8th of January. That's going to represent a nice resistance at this point. So Ethereum, continue to hold. And the next dip, I think, again, will be buyable. And my 2018 target is 2900. And that's where I will be peeling off most of my position. Litecoin, haven't bought anything new on Litecoin. Again, 50 EMA is down here at 213. So if we get down there, might pick some up. If you hop in here to the hourly chart, you can see we've been down here before. So again, it comes down to your time frame, right? How often are you trading these? What is your perspective? How much money do you have in them? You can buy any amount that you want. These lows on the hourly chart is almost a picturesque tweezer bottom. So a break above 242.77, in my opinion, would be bullish. Ripple is pulling back pretty strongly, at least on Kraken, but did pull down to the 20, nice little lower shadow. Trade to a very obvious resistance here at about 20, let's call it 21. So if you didn't sell there on Ripple, and this is XRPXBT, sorry. You got this 1, 2, 3, some kind of wave 4. So we're going to consolidate a little bit here on Ripple. We'll probably trade back up. At some point, we'll more than likely go higher. But, I mean, on XRBT, this could channel. We could trade all the way back down, could provide some good opportunities to buy. Here's the weekly, and we still have a long way to go. So, yeah, this channel at some point will break out, more than likely. But until then, I mean, buy low, sell high on Ripple, XRPXBT. And then I had a request for TRX, which I believe is Tron. TRX, which is, I believe you can only trade on Binance, and you can buy it with Bitcoin. That's the only way I know to trade it personally. I do not have any Tron, but it did move very spectacularly. Some type of 1, 2, 3 pull back into a wave 4, and then potentially a wave 5. So again, only came out in November. Looks buyable to me. Buy the dip. Another one that Zane McGee requested was, I believe, ZRX. And so again, ZRX, this particular coin also on Binance, and you can trade it with the dollar, not on Poloniex. They're just calculating how much it would be, because if you can't buy with dollars on Poloniex, but you can buy it with Bitcoin. And ZRX, for your first letter in your first name, Zane, looks pretty good. Had a nice resistance right here, and that was a phenomenal time to buy this bad boy. Just a good shop around, broke out, retested. That was the time to buy, and since then you've more than doubled your position. So what's fantastic about this is you're trading with Bitcoin, so you're doubling your Bitcoin position. It's incredible leverage out there, especially if Bitcoin ever starts really rocketing. So this one, strong trend, good volume, looks gorgeous. Also would be a buy the dip. A few people playing Stellar, XLMXBT. This is on Kraken, and again, this red line, very nice resistance, pulling down into the 20 EMA at this present moment in time, similar to Ripple. I think Stellar and Ripple are going to move somewhat similarly going forward. We did make a new high, so I think it's a matter of time before we end up bouncing. And again, this could be it right here off the 20, because we did bounce at a similar location before. So we'll see. I've heard that even in crypto land, some of these moves can take days or weeks. So you still have to be patient, my friends. Look at the charts, understand visually where you want to get in, and then kind of approach it like that. My other position is EOSXBT, which really isn't doing that much. I have to really zoom in on this one. Up on it pretty nicely as of right now, as I bought this pullback at around 0.51, I believe. Just old resistance, new support. That's the only way I played that one. So that was the support resistance right here. So far it looks nice. Ready for this one to break out at some point. Break above this level should be pretty dandy. And I think EOSXBT will slowly continue up as well. We're going to have a phenomenal podcast coming out for you all tomorrow with Matt DeLong. That's going to be about the software as a service industry. Stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, feel free to post it in our Patreon page. Thanks so much for being supporters of Patreon and IR4. You are amazing, and love, live, learn. We'll see you later. Bye.